slotting cutter bit we used to cut that groove. We're going to insert that into our router, snug it up, and we're ready to go. Now, the only thing is, remember I said where all of these bits are automatically set to the correct height? Well, it's not going to be this time because we're using it for a different operation. Remember how we used to cut the groove in there for that rubber panel retainer with this? We're going to use the same bit, but what I'm going to do, you can see there, I'm going to lower that bit down so that carbide is right level with the back of my divided light. So let me lower that down. And a better way of doing that is we're going to cut it in the sled anyway. So let's insert it into the sled so that we're nice and level. And I'll lower that. Now we're perfectly level. And I'll lower that down. And I like to lower it, just move this board until it catches. Right there, we're just catching, we're making the bit go. So we're just taking off a little bit. Lock the bit in, and we're ready to go. Now, we're going to move the fence again so we're flush with that bearing. And again, we can put this right underneath here. And right there, you can see where the bearing, we're going to slice that piece off. Right like that. So we'll put our glasses on and make that cut. And you can see where we started to make the cut. Okay, what we got to do is move the fence back just a little bit more. Didn't have it quite set right. Quite deep enough, right there. Now we'll make it again. And as I run that through there, I like to hang on to that board because if I don't, that thing will kick back like that. So right there you can see we have that perfectly undivided light, I call it now. Now, the only thing, when we go to glue this now, see we don't have that cope cut locking it anymore. All we have now is a lap joint. We're going to take this piece and these dividers are gone. All we have is a lap like this. So again, how are we going to glue that? Go back to our 2P10. Let's say we're gluing this up in our door. Again, just one little drop on there. And we don't have that cope cut anymore. All we have is a lap joint. But again, if you take this right like that and you hold it 10 seconds, you're set. This glue, it doesn't cure. It takes about 24 hours to cure, but it bonds in about 10 seconds and you'll be set. Right there, okay? So that's how we make the undivided light on the back here. You just take that bit and slice off all these pieces and glue them up with your 2P10. All right, next thing we're going to do is show you how we're going to drill the holes for our hardware and also insert the hinges, and we also put a detailed edge around the outside of all of our doors. I'll show you how we do all those three things next. The bit we're going to use to make that detailed edge around the outside of the door is our door detailer. It comes in our 6-piece cabinet making set, I guess you can get it individually also. We're going to lock that in. I've already got it set to the right height. This bit you can set to any height you want depending on what kind of a reveal you want. Okay. Make sure our bit's locked in. We're ready to go. Okay, again, all we do is take our straight edge, any old straight edge we can find. Here's a piece of a mutton mullion. Anything you need is a straight edge, works as a straight edge. With the bearing, lock the fence down, we're ready to cut. Okay, we're going to put the good side down, and we always come across the end grain first and finish up with the grain. Right there, you can see the nice detailed edge it puts around the outside. You can make that deeper or shallower as you want. All right, now the next thing I'm going to show you is how we're going to put our hardware, like these little handles right here with 3-inch centers. We're going to show you how we're going to drill the holes easily and perfectly for those. All right, we're ready to put our hardware onto our door. To do that, we got a little jig called the Easy Marc, and you can see you set it on your jig. There's a stop in the back where it hits against, right there. Okay? And there's a stop right here that you can adjust for the height of your holes. All right. Now, what we got to do is find the center of your stock right there on your stile. Move this to the center. You just slide that down, move it to the center, lock it down, and you're ready to drill the holes. Now, some hardware comes 3-inch centers. Some you put one knob in the middle. Some of them are wider. You can come out to 4.5, whatever, 4 1/4. But these are 3-inch holes we're putting in. We're locked right here. Okay, and we're putting a hole here and a hole here. We just drill through these hardened bushings just like this. There's a long aircraft drill we're drilling with. And that's simply and accurately your holes are drilled for your hardware. That's very simple to do with our jig. All right, next thing we're going to do is we need to put a couple of holes. We use the holes in here for our hinges, and we use the 35mm hidden hinges, and we'll show you how they operate next. Okay, we're ready to drill the holes now for our hinges in the back, and like I said, the jig we have to do that is a very simple thing called the Easy Bore. It's got 3 different spindles here that you drill the holes with, a 35mm hole and 2 8mm holes. And the way it operates, we always overlay our doors on our cabinets 1/2 inch, okay? So there's 2 little stops right here. There's instructions that come with this, but we're going to set those stops for the number 2, which is 1/2 inch overlay. All right, so we're going to bring it in here, set it on our door. Let's go right down here. And we're going to, against those 2 stops, okay, we got 2 cam clamps. We're going to clamp those down here and clamp this one down here, okay? Now, we have a hex driver that comes with it, 1/2 inch, and we're just going to drill the holes. And they're spring loaded, you can see. See, right like that. Even a little battery operated drill will drill those holes. And that quickly and easily and accurately, you just drill the holes for that 35mm hinge. Now, to install those hinges, very simple. The hinges we have come with little plastic dowels. All you do is insert that hinge where the 2 dowels line up and take a hammer, and that easily your hinge is installed, that quickly and easily, okay? Now, what you can do is take those 2 screws, unscrew that hinge out, stain and spray your door, and install them right back in as many times as you want, and those 2 dowels will never come out of there. So that's how easy it is to install the hinges on our door with our Hinge Boring Jig. As you can see, our glass panel set is very easy to use for a variety of different types of doors, from a simple glass panel door like this to a little bit more complex door like this one. And I hope you have as much fun using it as I did showing it.